He's with us live on the latest for the preparations for the big game. Ben?
Yeah, hi Kaylee. Well, I thought I'd give you a little tease here today. I'm out here at the beach. This is called Huntington Beach. It's a little bit south of Los Angeles, kind of in that Anaheim area. Beautiful day here in Southern California. As you can see, waves crashing behind me. And the thing to do here is surf. In Southern California today on New Year's Eve, they're surfing while you are ice fishing. So I want to step out of the way and give you a look at some of these surfers. It's a really popular place to be. I was talking to some of the surfers just a couple of moments ago, and they said this is one of the best places in Southern California to go surfing because the way that the waves come in off the ocean is just ideal, and there's almost always good weather here in this part of Southern California. So look at all these surfers I'm showing you right now. It's really a packed house here. Kind of a scene from Baywatch as well. If you see the towers, I'll show you in just a moment, the little lifeguard towers in the background. But certainly a really neat scene here in Southern California. I'm at Huntington Beach. We're looking for a high of about 60 degrees here, maybe low 60s, 62, 63 compared to, the single digits or the teens that you're looking at in Wisconsin. Not a bad gig for me in Southern California. All right, let's talk a little bit of football. Rose Bowl, it's the 99th edition of the Rose Bowl game. Coming up tomorrow, of course, that's a 2:10 p.m. kickoff our time, 4:10 in the Central Time Zone in Wisconsin. Wisconsin and Stanford, a Pac-12 matchup versus a Big Ten matchup. Very traditional between those two conferences. Barry Alvarez returns as the head coach of Wisconsin. He's 3-0 in Rose Bowl games. He can tie Woody Hayes, the famous Ohio State coach, as the only Big Ten coaches with 4 Rose Bowl victories if he wins tomorrow. Of course, he's filling in after Brett Bielema, the former head coach, left for Arkansas in between the Big Ten championship and the bowl game. There are only 3 teams in the country that have been to the 3 straight BCS bowl games. Wisconsin and Stanford are 2 of them. Oregon's the 3rd. And Monty Ball, of course, the Badgers will be looking to him for some production tomorrow. He's already set the NCAA record in terms of touchdowns, both rushing touchdowns and all-purpose touchdowns, well over 80 touchdowns in his career at Wisconsin. How about Stanford? Coming in ranked number 6 in this game. They're coming off a win over UCLA in the Pac-12 championship game to earn this spot in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl. They are the first team in NCAA football since 2000, so it's been 12 years to beat both number 1 and number 2 in the same season. Early on, they beat number 2 USC. Later on, they beat number 1 Oregon to gain a berth into the Rose Bowl game. But it doesn't mean all of their games have been blowouts. They've had to have 6 game-winning drives in either the 4th quarter or overtime to win games in both their non-conference and Pac-12 schedule. We talked about Monty Ball for Wisconsin. For Stanford, beg your pardon. They counter with a pretty darn good rushing defense, the number 3 rushing defense in the country. So we've got plenty to come here from Southern California. I'll be talking with Ethan Hemer's parents today. Ethan is a junior defensive lineman from Medford, so a Northwoods connection there. I'll bring that to you tonight on Newswatch 12 at 5, 6, and 10. And then tomorrow, Tournament of Roses parade in the morning and the Rose Bowl in the evening. Live reports coming your way here from Southern California. We're covering the news in Southern California live. Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12. Melissa Constanzer's back with a little bit chillier Weather Watch 12 forecast right after this.
Well, in about 24 hours, we'll know whether the Wisconsin Badgers have broken their 2-game Rose Bowl slide with a win over the Stanford Cardinal. Tonight, we await the granddaddy of them all. Newswatch 12's Ben Meyer joins us live from Pasadena with the latest from the Rose Bowl. Ben, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Lane, and I'm certainly awaiting the granddaddy of them all with the rest of us, with the sun setting over the San Gabriel Mountains just over my shoulder. It's about this time tomorrow. It'll be about the end of the 3rd quarter when Wisconsin fans will be jumping around here inside the Rose Bowl. Part of those Wisconsin fans jumping around are the people I met today.
Let's go Red! Let's go Red! Let's go Red!
You realize how big the Rose Bowl is. I mean, it's truly a larger-than-life event.
From every corner of the Badger State, they come to the Golden State. But maybe the Rose Bowl isn't all that different from Camp Randall Stadium.
The Sea of Red is kind of similar. You know, our experiences out here Tampa West truly is has been true. Hope it is tomorrow.
Among that sea of red are the families of 3 Badgers from northern Wisconsin. Merrill's Sam Arneson will see action at tight end, while DC Everest grad Conrad Zygzebski has helped on the defensive line. And then there's the family of Medford defensive tackle Ethan Heemer, who didn't even get a scholarship out of high school.
For Ethan as a walk-on, he's starting his 3rd consecutive Rose Bowl, and he's still got another year left. So I think it's gone way better than what he anticipated it was going to.
The 3rd straight Rose Bowl for Ethan and the Heemers.
It's going to become our family vacation. The only time we have all of our family members together in one spot, Ethan, Ben, Megan, and us, is the Rose Bowl. So fun.
And what about
so
that
take
new,
these
or
weeks,
should we say,
as always,
coach
really focus
for this
on
year?
all the
being second best all these years, kind of losing in the Rose Bowl. We need a change.
You think Barry's going to make that difference?
I think Barry's going to make the difference for sure.
It's the first thing that went through my mind, that he would be the best one to step up, and I was hoping he would.
We could be just hours away from Barry Alvarez's 4th and Ethan's 1st Rose Bowl win.
Sports Block, the sports segment of our 6 o'clock news here on Newswatch 12, to bring us some facts and figures to consider for tomorrow's game. We're covering the news live in Southern California. Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12. Lane?
Sunny Southern California at that. I'm pretty jealous, Ben. Thanks.
Badgers fans hope the 3rd time's the charm in today's Rose Bowl appearance. Newswatch 12's Ben Meyer is in Pasadena and getting ready to bring us full coverage of the game.
It's among the most iconic venues in all of sports, and in a matter of hours, it'll be home to the 99th granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, Wisconsin and Stanford. Well, they say good things come in 3s, so as we look forward to today's game, consider this. It's the 3rd straight appearance in the Rose Bowl for the Badgers, and you can find the number 3 lurking throughout today's matchup. There are just 3 teams in the nation with 3 consecutive BCS bowl game appearances. Wisconsin and Stanford are 2 of them. UW Athletic Director Barry Alvarez returns to the sideline to coach the Badgers after Brett Bielema left for Arkansas. Barry is 3-0 in Pasadena. The Badgers, only team in the nation to have won their conference 3 straight years. Those 3 years, 3 BCS bowls, 3 different starting quarterbacks. Wisconsin's the only team ever to make that a reality, with Scott Tolzien, Russell Wilson, and now Kurt Phillips starting the last 3 Rose Bowls. UW running back Monte Ball is the first player to lead the Big Ten in scoring 3 years in a row since at least 1939. But he'll be facing a strong Stanford rush defense, ranked 3rd in the nation. Twice the Cardinal held opponents to negative rushing yards this year, and one other time it allowed only single digits on the ground. Rushing yards for California that day? You guessed it, 3. As you tune into the game today, pull up a laptop. I'll be hosting a live interactive blog before, during, and after the game from inside the Rose Bowl Stadium. We'll also have full coverage tonight on Newswatch 12 at 10, live here from Pasadena. On Wisconsin, we're covering the news from Pasadena. Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12.
Well, New Year's Day brings chilly weather for northern Wisconsin, but flowers to Southern California. Newswatch 12's Ben Meyer is in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl festivities. He caught up with some Badger fans checking out the floats for today's Parade of Roses.
I just like watching all the beautiful flowers on the floats.
Believe it or not, every inch of every float in the Rose Parade is covered with flowers.
It's like, no way is it really flowers, you know, and you get up close and it really is, everything's alive.
And it smells wonderful. It's just, it is just gorgeous. I just, wow.
Countless hours go into making the floats. In fact, it was back in April that most of them for the 2013 Rose Parade started being created. Once they're done, they look something like this. Millions line the 6-mile parade route every year. Some are Wisconsin transplants who now live in Pasadena.
I really do have my heart in Wisconsin, which is kind of what shows this gear here, and I am a loyal, die-hard Wisconsin fan.
Other loyalists come from a little farther, driving to Pasadena from Chippewa Falls.
It was long. It was long, very long. 5 people in a car.
But wherever they come from, usually agree on one thing.
They're beautiful. The TV does not do them justice at all. They're much better in person. Everyone should take the time to at least see them once in their life.
I like basically everything about it.
We're covering the news in Pasadena. Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12.
Thanks, Ben. I know he's having the time of his life out there in Pasadena.
20-14, 3rd straight loss in the historic game for the Badgers. Now, of course, Lex, this was such a big game. We couldn't keep you-know-who
Can't keep Ben Meyer away from there.
We just can't keep a good man down here. Ben Meyer, of course, joins us live from Pasadena. Ben, a classic game, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, Joe and Lex, good evening. Tough one for the Badgers tonight. Their third straight time in the Rose Bowl, their third straight loss in the Rose Bowl. And like the first two, they had a chance to win it on their last possession.
You're at midfield or close to midfield with 2 minutes left in the Rose and chance to win the Rose Bowl. I just felt like maybe we were a team of destiny. Kurt's run the 2-minute offense pretty well. He did it even in the first half of this game. So I just felt somehow we were going to find a way to score. That's what my thinking was.
You know, I knew I had the linebacker on my inside. Kind of was just, hoping for an outside ball. He threw it. The lineman made a good play, kind of just got a finger on it, tipped it enough where it kind of, veered off, and the guy made a great play on it.
Rose Bowl, just a couple of moments. I'm back in sports with more reaction from the locker room, including hearing from Montee Ball. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Reporting live from Pasadena, Ben Meyer, Newswatch 12. Back to you guys, Joe and Lex.
There's a star in the future.